Hello, everybody. Welcome to another daily dose of gaming news and all that good stuff. And as always, I also publish on Rumble, also on the blogger site as an archive post thingy, and on Patreon for extra support. And any kind of updates and such, I usually go about on Twitter X platform, mainly when I do some live streaming. Yesterday, I did manage to stream a couple of hours. What did I do? Yeah, we did the southern part. Try not to get too much in spoiler thing, unless you are keeping on track with my live streams. But I did the southern part of the map exploration there, fight some enemies, and now I stopped on a very interesting part of the map with some lore, heavy lore implications there, from what I can understand, and that's where we are going to resume on the next live stream. VOD will be up and around today. Fortunately, I've been able to publish the VOD in the day after I do the live stream, so I don't get too busy on having backlogs of the VOD stuff. But later today, I will also publish the Dead Space remake episode, so you can keep your eyes on it later throughout the day. Again, Elden Ring theories. I got some stuff simmering on my mind, but again, because I didn't finish the DLC, I don't have a lot of context of a lot of questions that I have. I will refrain myself of publishing anything. And again, I'm doing this basically blind. I don't have any context of what the DLC is showing us. So yeah, I'm being able to do it blindly without any context of what we are encountering throughout the game. But yeah, I think regarding channel news and updates is that it. The only thing is, again, I do live stream when I can, and I always try to stream at least a couple of hours here and there. So keep your eyes later on, see if I can manage to get at least 2 to 3 hours to stream something and continue throughout the DLC. But yeah, other than that, I think that's it. Let's go to the news. Finally, Noctua launches the holy grail of CPU cooling, let's say, which is the NH-D15. This is the Gen 2. Uh, I yeah, I know I had one of these. I think it was the 12 centimeters fan. I think this is the 14th thing, or I did the 9. Maybe it was the D9 or the T12. I think they have the D12 also. I'm not sure about their thing. But yeah, they again, I never managed to get around having the D15, I think, or I did. I'm so sorry. I think I did the D15, but then I also had a previous one on a smaller case that I had before the big one that I had before moving out of the country. But yeah, I really appreciate Noctua quality of construction and performance there. Um, Even though throughout these years we had a lot of good competition, some of the best coolers, at least in terms of price to performance, are some deep cools, the Assassins. I got the AH620 digital one, which is a pretty good one. Only when it ramps up, you can hear the fans there, which is normal. But other than that, it's pretty smooth and quiet. We've got also, I forgot not Aerocool, but the Deep Cool is also a pretty good one, especially with the Silent Assassin that they have. If not mistaken, I think it's how it's called, their models. But yeah, other than that, Noctua has their own. I don't know, the main show that they have on their lineup. And yeah, it's already for sale now. Again, I really do appreciate the engineering that goes behind this. But yeah, got some retail price. This is Amazon affiliate links from videocards.com. But yeah, I think these are pretty good, and they are. You can install basically any kind of LGA or AM platform there, and they bring all the tools, so the thermal paste also, and it's pretty intuitive. I assemble a couple of them. and they are pretty to install. The only thing is, again, always check the size of the CPU coolers, and always take an account on the sorry, Jesus, my English today is not the best one. On the spec sheet, the size of the vertical size with fans put on, because usually Noctua has huge fans that they are higher than just the cooler stuff there. So always pay attention to the compatibility of your case regarding these kind of coolers. Other than that, it always has a stamp of approval. I never had any kind of complaints, and I never heard anybody complaining about their own products. We also have some AMD Ryzen. This is the 9000, so Zen 5 next gen high performance CPUs. They're coming out this month already, and I think we got they have what they're announcing, a curve shaper. So basically, it's a curve optimizer. I think they have several kind of settings there that you can put. So this is also in addition with all the settings that you can already tweak on the fan curves and everything on the AMD performance tab there on the software there. I think this is like an extra thing because I think it's more fine-tuned for the Ryzen 9 CPUs there, and I think it also will support afterwards the X3D CPUs, because supposedly they have some kind of tweaks for overclocking support there, which is interesting. But yeah, this is called the Curve Shaper, and it's to tune AVF curve of the entire CPU of specific cores of the CPU, such as the tuning overrides the fixed curves that they are fused with, resulting in an increased performance. So I think it takes in account for how the software basically takes in account the load of certain cores, and specifically how those cores are able to, I don't know, get more performance out of it, or something like that, and of course taking into account the fan curve when the certain cores need more to be more productive. The temperatures will increase, and the fan curve will act upon it to maintain the temperatures on check there. At least that's my perception of this software. So it's more granular to that sense. It's a little bit automated in the sense that it tries to see what cores can do what kind of task there. So it doesn't have like a fixed thing that you can do manually. It has like several settings that have some granularity to it. At least that's my perception with this. So we'll see how it goes. But I think it's good to introduce this kind of thing, so you can have more options when you're trying to overclock or design this kind of curve thing for specific CPUs. I think it's a good one. And then yesterday, out of nowhere, at least from my knowledge, again. With this kind of Summer Game Fests and all the showcases that everybody's doing, I lost track of everything. But yesterday we did have the Capcom Next, I think they're called. They just focus basically on free games, at least that I saw briefly the showcase. I think I think this is good. Because it keeps focus on things that are coming to that year where the showcase is presented. I think it's good to keep it focused, otherwise, like Summer Game Fest, you got huge amounts of trailers for games that will come up in 2 years time, so people just get lost in the weeds with that. And I like a little bit more on this showcase that are focused on specific games, like quality over quantity. It's half an hour. You don't have to endure 2 hours of trailers and sportsmanships and all that jazz. But yeah, they focus on free ones. So it's Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster. It's one of those. Again, they basically this is a 2006 game. It's interesting. I never played these games, the Dead Rising games. It was never my kind of game per se. but it's interesting what they are being able to do with the RE engine. Yeah, a lot of improvements there have been made. Now they are targeting 4K 60 for the quality there and the frame rate. I think there were some PC ports that were poorly done at the time when the game came out because this was aiming for consoles. And I think also in terms of performance, it didn't behave very well at the time. But now they basically remade the game with RE engine, and I think, yeah, Capcom is going full throttle with this engine. That's why I'm very curious to see what kind of things this engine can do, and the possibilities. I don't know, to leave some other smaller studios to use this kind of engine so they can work on kind of similar to Unreal Engine to a certain degree, so it can put itself on the competition market there. But given that this seems to be a very, very good in-house engine, way better than Bethesda's and the such, not but then again, they are in-house, so they are usually targeting specific things depending on the publisher and what kind of games they usually do. But yeah, this is the first one, so the what they call Deluxe Remaster. Yeah, the user interface has been refined, controls have been more accessible. I think one thing this game didn't allow is to aim and walk, which now can be done here. NPC behaviors have been expanded, NPC and survivor interaction has been fully voiced. Combat-wise, yeah, move while aiming. Yeah, language support is bigger, and the cutscenes, they try to maintain the original animations. They just remade them, but they maintain the original animations and the such, so it keeps on line with the tone that the game was trying to aim when it came out. But yeah, pretty good. The game doesn't seem to be very expensive. Again, Deluxe Remaster is priced the base version $50, which I'm not sure how big the game is, but I think it happens on them all. But I think you got a lot of stuff to do there, and the value, I think it's kind of around. I don't know. I never played the game, so I don't have the notion. But again, $50. It's not 70 or 60. It's 50. But you can get the digital deluxe edition, $60 with 17 costumes and 70 tracks playable in them all. I don't know. I never played this game, but it's one of those franchises that I am aware of, and yeah, the improvements are quite noticeable, especially from the original to this deluxe remaster. They seem pretty good. One of the other games that was also announced here was Kunitsu-Gami, Path of the Goddess. The demo is out now today, and they reveal also they will have a alchemy collaboration within the game. The demo itself lets players check out some stages of the main game as many times as they like without the time limit. So I think this is a good thing to you just you don't tell, you show how confident you are within your game by putting out a demo without limited time, so people can explore several paths that you can do about this game. Again, this game seems pretty interesting. It's based on Japanese folklore. Okay, demo players across the globe, two missions. Oh, this is the thing. During the demo, while it's available till the launch of the game will launch this month. Yeah, I think it's this month, if not mistaken. 17th of July, I think. Why it doesn't say here? That's interesting. Yeah, it's here, July 19th. Until then, if you manage to, I don't know what they called it here, complete 2 missions. I think it's catching some orbs in total of the people that played the demo and finding other 15 lucky chests or something like that. It unlocks the costumes based on Amaterasu and Waka from Okami, as well a soundtrack collaboration there on the base game version of the game without any kind of DLC purchase or something like that. That's my understanding there. But yeah, this game is pretty interesting. I covered this game. Seems pretty interesting because you basically play as a guardian to I think the best comparison is a priestess that is going throughout in a mission to purify the mountain, which is it's not cursed, is basically contaminated with impurity or I don't know how they called it, not filthiness. Yeah, tainted. It's a tainted mountain, and basically what you do is during the day you try to cleanse the villages while you go up the mountain, purifying villagers, also cure ailments, restore stuff, fixing I don't know, fixing stuff on the village so you can prepare yourself for the nighttime to face off the, for lack of a better term, the demons. And then you fight them, and with that you also have after you fixing everything, you have the villagers that you can kind of turn-based, it's not turn-based, strategically put them and assign them roles again. And then also depends on what kind of village that you are, like the grid where the village is, what's best suits the rules in terms for the villages and yourself, and you can control in real time the strategy of facing off and protecting the priestess there to purify the village, and that basically the game loop there, which is very interesting. And again, then you got all the management stuff regarding abilities and all the things that you can upgrade. Seems pretty interesting. And one of the things that is most interesting is the fact that they are going about doing some Japanese folklore and the deities there, and how and I hope that it is very well explored there. It seems so, but yeah, and even the PC specifications or recommended specs, they are not very high. So, and I will assume this is the highest version, 1080p 60, given the fact that you can play it with a GTX 1070 or an RX 57 non-XE version, only 16 gigabytes of RAM. Yeah, this I'm not sure if you're playing, and I think this is basically the requirements for the entirety of the games, only 16 gigabytes. Oh, yes, okay, there it is. I didn't read this. Estimated performance when set to balance preset in the options menu. 1080p 60 might drop in certain scenes. Okay, and then you got also support for ray tracing. And I will assume this is made in RE engine also. That's why it looks pretty also. But yeah, I think this one that you can keep your eyes on. I will leave the Steam page of this game after the link on the article, so you can check the demo if you want to. But yeah, this seems pretty interesting on how they go about in a different kind of game. It's always interesting to see this. And lastly, the last game, it's that they mentioned basically was a tease for the next Resident Evil. Again, what we have in terms of confirmation, the same game director that did Resident Evil 7 Biohazard is the one that's going to direct this new Resident Evil, which is seems to be in good hands, because I really enjoyed the Resident Evil 7 take as a kind of a soft reboot of the series there, and Nakanishi also worked Resident Evil 5 as a designer. Again, Resident Evil 5 is not the best one, but still as a designer. Then Resident Evil, the Mercenaries 3D, Revelations, as a director also. I think Revelation is not bad from what I understand. But yeah, they basically are, again, the only tease they are working on the game. We don't have any more information basically. But yeah, again, with the tease is they didn't know how to tackle the game there, but now they find the way, and then they ask you to wait for more news until they can deliver more information regarding the Resident Evil 9. So yeah, and lastly, we got this. Supposedly, they are been doing some Star Wars Outlaws previews. Again, already my first take regarding the Star Wars game. Again, without taking into account the character designs there, especially from the MAM Solo. I think the mechanics, they sounded, from what we saw at the time, from the gameplay stuff, they sound pretty solid, the mechanics there, which is kind of a shame because of the way Ubisoft goes about their gamings and their acronym mafia inclusion and consultancy there. Um, yeah, the only mechanic that I complain is the fact that the girl just punches everybody, even with iron helmets, and they knock them out of the sky in one man punch KO style there. Yeah, it's the only thing that I think it's a little bit off. It seems a little bit off the way that she just out of nowhere just one punch everybody into KO. Other than that, it's the mechanics itself. They seem pretty fine. And this demo supposedly has like 3 segments of 20 minutes in certain different areas. One of them is the flying part. But yeah, because they are so small, in terms of time, you have so few time in terms of time limits of how to interact with those missions. 20 minutes, not that much to have a sense of the mechanics itself, like the fly mechanics here. I think it's like an infiltration mission, and then we got other stuff with the scrapyard, something like that. Again, the impressions that the person did the demo, this 3 times 20 minutes each part of the demo. Yeah, it seems I think they tried to copycat a little bit of in terms of navigation, Survivor, the Star Wars Survivor. Platform mechanics are similar to those games and uses similar camera angle. Shooting mechanics feel similar to other Ubisoft games like Far Cry Avatar. Flying in the game feels smooth and nice to do rather than feeling like you are going to get sick from changing angles continuously. Again, they won't be able to tell if it was kind of a Far Cry clone thing there. But from what they could tell, Star Wars Outlaw has a lot of positive elements from each of the Ubisoft games, but we will ultimately have to wait and see. Yeah, that again, it goes a little bit in line to the first impressions that I had when I saw gameplay of this game. Is some mechanics seem to be fine. Even the stealth stuff there seems interesting, the way they try to go about it, but the shooting mechanic seems okay. Again, everything seems okay, taken apart, but again, how we congels, because again, you have to play the game in its entirety to see how the mechanics gel with each other when you approach certain scenarios in one way or the other. And basically, this is a Star Wars games, how the story will get itself together there. Jedi Fallen Order was a short story, but without any kind of trying to go about too much. But it was a short and a pretty decent one. Jedi Survivor continues a little bit, even though we got a little bit here and there of not much. I don't have any negative things regarding Survivor in terms of story and characters. They seem, at least from the way they were introduced on Jedi Fallen Order, they keep the same tone, at least from what I can perceive and what I remember. But yeah, the main thing here is the main character here. Especially the character design, and in my case, from what I can see, the way she just one punch everybody with a helmet or not, just one punch them on KO. I think having like a tool to, I don't know, stun them, like a taser thing, that you can stun the enemies into sleep, instead of just having an animation where you just do a lot of ruffle, which doesn't make sense in a stealth approach. You just touch them in the back, wait them for turn, and just one punch them to KO. It has a stealth mechanic. I don't think it's the best one to not the best way to introduce that. But yeah, it's a lot of rambling now. But yeah, let's go from some gaming news to wrap up this. We still have a lot of stuff here from Steam, the summer sale. We got BattleTech here, 75% off. I think, again, if you like battle games, this is a turn-based game here, similar to XCOM. We got also Spiritfarer Farewell Edition, And if you're not sure if it is a game for you, you got the demo here, which I think it's always good to see. We got also King's Arthur Knight's Tale. Again, this is a very positive game experience for what I understand, especially the story there. Again, turn-based combat. I think you got a lot of management also, and you got the kind of the sequel, which is Legion 9, which is part of the same universe that they set up here. We got also Miasma Chronicles. Again, I'm very interested in playing this game, given that it is the kind of the spiritual successor of Mutant Year Zero Road to Eden. I'm interested to see how they improved on game mechanics and what kind of story they are trying to tell here. We got also Atomic Heart, 60% off now. And if not sure, you got the demo here from the game here. Again, I'm also pretty interesting to see this Soviet Bioshock here. It's got some influences here, but it seems a little bit more tactical in the sense of how you have to approach the enemies there. But yeah, I'm pretty interesting to see this one. We got also Pacific Drive, 40% off. One of those that I would like to play one of these days, see how it goes. We got also now Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, 50% off. It's rare to see From Software games coming into sale. Again, a lot of these new games that they are being the recent reviews. I'm not sure From Software. They seem to be trying to review bombed here recently. But then you get Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon, also seems to be a pretty good game, 30% off. And Elden Ring again is on promotion. I covered this some days ago. I think around 30-ish% off, also 34% or something like that. The base game. So yeah, that's it for today. Sorry about a little bit all over the place today, but it's what I managed to scrounge up as an episode for today. I will wrap up with a plug on my Patreon for extra support as usual. The extra support is for me to be able to get a storage solution, to get backups of stuff that I do for my clients, and of course some extra space for the videos that I do for the channel. And with all that said, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one. Till then, Kunamy Master out.